This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Sam Jones over Zoom. Sam, first and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How's things? Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Myself, obviously, I've said it to everyone now. Kind of eager to get back out there. What's it like for you being stuck in lockdown?
Mate, it's. Do you know what, mate? Sadly, I'm getting used to it. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting used to doing interviews over Zoom, and I don't know. It's weird for everyone, isn't it, right now? But I think the main thing is everyone just stays healthy. That's the main priority.
Now, I remember talking to you at the Fighters Hotel in Stevenage on the week of Joyce-Dubois on the Saunders and Sufi card, and at the time you had your big plans, which was you're going to announce your deal with MTK. When you go back 12 months, I think it's actually 12 months, probably this week or last week, could you ever imagine you'd be in this situation?
What the
with
situation
lockdown,
where?
with lockdown and kind of your plans being put on hold?
No, mate. You can't plan for stuff like this. But as I say, mate, the strongest survive, don't they? Like we've all got to be strong right now and do what we can. Like it's just waiting. It's the waiting game. But I do think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm following it closely, and I do think that we're going to have brighter days.
How has lockdown and isolation and what have you kind of impacted your plans? How have you kind of tried to work around the current scenario?
It's just delayed our plans, hasn't it, mate? Like we've got fight news coming very soon for Guido. He's going to be out hopefully in the next. Well, he will be out in the next few weeks. I think the Top Rank will announce that very soon. So that's good news. As for Joe, with his fight being put back again, I'm going to want Joe to have a fight, definitely, whatever level we can get him, whatever level we can do it at. But it's important Joe gets out, because by the last quarter of this year, you're talking Joe out of the ring for over a year, which is he needs to get back in there. So that's going to be one of the priorities, is getting Joe back in the ring.
Obviously, that's something I was going to come on to, but that Dubois-Joyce situation. So no matter what, you're going to try and get Joe one fight before the
Yeah,
Dubois.
I think if the fight happened in, say, September, for example, then maybe not. But if anything over that, you were pushing it. Do you know what I mean? So we need to. It would be reckless of us to go straight into it. Fighters need to be match fit. Do you know what I mean? It's the same in any sport, but more so in boxing. You need to have get off the ring rust.
I saw some quotes. Sorry, mate. I saw some quotes from Frank saying that no matter what, he can't see that happening behind closed doors because it's such a big fight. Do you think realistically that will be the case, or do you think we would have to see it behind closed doors?
I think that's Frank's. Listen, Frank's the promoter, so you've got to respect. That's what Frank wants. We personally would do the fight. Joe's ready to take this fight in the next few weeks. So if Frank said, right, let's go 4 weeks behind closed doors, we're ready to. Joe will be ready to go. But the situation, Frank's the promoter, and we've got that's Frank's wishes. If Frank doesn't want to put it on behind closed doors, then we respect his decision.
Because there's obviously not a lot of live sports on at the minute. You'd imagine the pay-per-view numbers for any form of sport, especially something like Joyce-Dubois,
anything
considerable.
Yeah. If you had a fight, it'd be pay-per-view sales would go through the roof. No, it's. Listen, you saw with like if a fight happened now, White, Povetkin, Joyce-Dubois, the pay-per-view sales will go through the roof because people are just dying. I mean, I don't know about you, I'm just dying to see like a 4-rounder at York Hall, let alone a pay-per-view fight. I'm just so ready. I'm so over this, but we can't be reckless in our pursuit to bring boxing back. We have to be sensible, and we have to realize that this virus has killed thousands of people. So we've still got to treat it as with the utmost respect.
Let's obviously just touch on the fight a little bit. I've seen a lot of social media, in particular these past couple of months, people seem to side with and favour Daniel going into it because of his power. They think that he'll be able to stop Joe. What's your thoughts when you read it yourself?
I've been asked this question loads of times. Look at the level of opponents Daniel Dubois fought to the level that Joe's fought. and I'm talking amateur as well. I'm going into for the amateurs as well. Like I'm sick of talking, kind of sick of talking about it, to be honest. But you look at Joe's fought in the amateurs. The Hrgovic has beat them. Yoka's beat them. The Fraser Clark, who's a world class fighter at the moment, he's going to be hopefully turning pro after the Olympics. He's going to be a force in heavyweight division. Joe's beat him like 5 times. Daniel Dubois has beaten nobody, amateur or pro. Nobody. His last win was against Fujimoto. And then the one before that was that Ebenezer Tete at the Royal Albert Hall, which was a farce. So if you're going to watch the Kevin Johnson fight, you see, watch the Kevin Johnson fight. Someone with a bit of brains and a bit of know-how. Daniel didn't know what to do. Like he got him hurt, I think, early in the round, but then he didn't know what to do. So listen, I don't want to come across like I'm slagging Dubois, because I'm kind of sick of talking about him. Like Daniel Dubois, I said to everybody that's interviewed me, he's a great fighter. He's going to be a great fighter, and he's probably the future of the heavyweight division. However, Joe Joyce is 34 years old. He's performed at the highest level for years and years, and that's amateur and professional. He was thrown in the deep end in the professional. In boxing, I believe you've got to have a fringe world level fight before you have a world title fight. Very rarely do you see somebody go from jump the levels and win world titles. Dubois is going to go from Fujimoto to Joe Joyce. That's not good preparation for Joe Joyce. And I know the people Dubois was sparring for Joe and who he was planning on sparring, and it's nuts, to be honest with you. But look, we're just talking about this fight. I mean, is it going to happen this year? I hope so. Then we're talking about next year. It's bad, really. I mean, it's bad for both guys. Like Joe and Dubois, both, I'm sure, prepared hard for the fight and put themselves through it. Joe, I know, prepared hard because I was with him. I just hope the fight happens so we can finally stop talking about, and that's rich coming from me, but we'll finally just stop talking about the fight and let the boys get it on and see who's the better man.
It's no secret that Joe, he's got those ambitions to challenge for a world title. With everything that's going on at the minute, obviously he's 34 years of age now. For how long do you think yourselves as a team, and Joe obviously as a fighter, can continue to want to face Daniel Dubois? When does it reach a point when you think we kind of have to try to leave that fight alone for now and move towards world titles? If you can get...
It's a good question. We won't wait forever for Daniel Dubois. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a fight. We're not, Joe's career is not going to be put on hold for Daniel Dubois, but we're contracted to fight Daniel Dubois, and that's the fight we want. It's the fight they want, so we want to make it happen. But we won't wait forever for it. Do you know what I mean?
With Dubois, again, I saw some quotes from Frank, and he said that he'd be keen to see Daniel face Deontay Wilder within a year or so. What was your thoughts on that?
It's just keeping Daniel relevant, because Daniel doesn't like to do any kind of interviews, or he's and you can't really get much out of him. So it's just he'll fight Deontay Wilder and beat Deontay Wilder. All I'm saying is watch the Richard Lartey fight, because he's like the Richard Lartey was doing wild swings in the ring. He was like a real poor man's Wilder in that fight, and Daniel Dubois struggled. If Daniel Dubois stood there and traded with Deontay Wilder the way he stood and traded with, because he's still green, he went there and stood and traded with Deontay Wilder, he'd be asleep until the coronavirus was finished.
So just to move away from Joe and Daniel, just get your thoughts on the British Boxing Board of Control's guidelines for boxing to return. What have you made of what they've set out, the plans that they've put in place?
It's going to be very difficult, but it's doable. Like you look across the world, like the UFC, they're managing to put events on. It is possible. It's just it's going to be very costly for promoters. And they're going to have to work around a lot of things, but it's doable. It is doable.
We've mentioned, there's going to be no fans. We saw the UFC's events without any fans. What have you made of it?
It's not the same, is it? It is not the same. It's like some fighters, and listen, I'm not even, I'll be honest with you. Like when Joe spars, unless somebody tries purposely to stick it on him, Joe likes to work on things in sparring. He really does. He likes to work on things on sparring. He doesn't like load up on people, doesn't take liberties with people, only when they try and do it with him. And then that switches him on and he turns it. It's like shaking a wasp nest with Joe. going into these fights, they're like glorified spars. Do you know what I mean? They're like, you have to really get up. So, I don't know, like he's gonna have to get hit in the side of the head with a wet fish or something before he goes out there and fights behind closed doors. I don't know, but no, it's about everyone's got to stay professional, haven't they? And it's going to be a fight, but it's just the fans make boxing. The atmosphere of the arenas, they make the event. The boxing is for the fans. If there would be no boxing really without the fans. So it's going to be very difficult for everyone, but we've got to get on with it because this is the world we're in at the moment, and this is the hand we've been dealt, and we've all got to deal with it.
We'll start working our way through some of your fighters in a second, but final question on it all. Eddie Hearn, he's come out, he's got his proposals for fight camp, going on some shows in the Matchroom HQ, back garden or land, whatever you want to refer to it as. What's your thoughts on those proposals?
Great idea. I love the idea. It's quirky, it's nice. It's going to be different, isn't it? And I think it's a good setting. I've seen the Matchroom HQ. It's a great idea. Fair play to Eddie, and I'm sure that the shows will be a great success.